Business Week magazine recently reported that the 12-hour workday has become the norm. Well, author Julie Morgenstern says that does not have to be the case. Julie has written the book, Never Check Email in the Morning, and let me tell you something, I'm very guilty. So I'm really curious to find out why you wrote the book called this.
So yeah, the 12-hour workday is absolutely the norm. And you know what's the work week has no edges anymore, right?
Meaning no in, no out. It's all soft edges.
Yeah, it's just that we could all work, no matter what your job, a professional woman for sure, could work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and there's still more to do.
Right.
And when that shifted, people just have unconsciously started working longer hours. Feel like after 12 hours, at least I have a right to go home. But work expands to fit the time allotted, and people are working so inefficiently because they're so overwhelmed by their workloads. Their impulse of how to manage these big workloads is the opposite of what is actually effective.
By your title, email, I'm guessing technology is not helping us.
The way we're using technology is not helping us.
Okay.
So I'm not anti-email. It's a very powerful tool. But you need to be in control of it instead of it in control of you. And what has happened is email, people use it, it's the world's most convenient procrastination device. So every time you have something difficult to do, what do?
Oh, I'm so guilty.
Let me just check my email first.
I'm so guilty. Okay, yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
that's one.
Yeah.
Two, email is actually a bunch of interruptions and distractions and requests that are different than whatever you had on your own to-do list for the day.
Let me stop you and ask you how you avoid that. So if you're at your computer and that's where you work, that's your workstation,
right?
And it pops up and you're
You
curious. So and if you don't check it, there's a little part of your brain going, don't check it, but it's really, you want to check it.
Right, because we're addicted to a couple things about the email. One, there's this satisfaction. When you have so much to do, there's a certain satisfaction of getting a few little things done. Email is a very convenient way of fooling yourself that you're actually getting something done. I can't figure out this memo that I have to write or this numbers that I'm crunching, but I can answer 4 emails. I feel a sense of satisfaction. We're addicted to feeling connected. We feel like if we don't check every 7 minutes, something huge is going to have happened and we will have missed it, right? So, and it makes us feel important too. We all feel like, oh, I'm busy, I'm checking my email, I'm checking my email. So you have to recognize what that is, and then you have to recognize what the cost is. If you interrupt yourself every 7 or 10 minutes, you cannot get to depth of thought to actually solve problems at a deep level.
Because it's a lack of focus?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about it. You know, if you study a problem and you go deep on it, you go all the way down into the problem, you know, there's a lot of parts to it, you can find the answer. If you're skimming and you're checking email and you're skimming and you lose so much time, you can never get to the bottom of a problem. So you don't solve things.
What would you say are the most common mistakes that people make during their workday?
Okay, so there are 10. So the very first is absolutely becoming addicted to email and just mindlessly checking and interrupting themselves every 5 or 10 minutes to just see what's there and distracting themselves from what they're doing. Right, so you got to break that email addiction. Avoid it for the first hour of the day, and that sort of gives you the leg up, and then you can sort of avoid it at other times as well. Second thing I think is it's starting with a lot of small, easy tasks before getting to the big important one. When people start their workday and they have a really long to-do list, it's really tempting to start out with 10 or 12 quick, easy things before you get to the big important one. False sense of accomplishment. It's the worst possible way to start your day. It depletes your energy. 10 or 12 little things makes no difference in your job or to your team or to your department. And the burden of the big task put off starts to weigh you down, and then a crisis hits, and then the thing gets postponed till 7 o'clock at night, and you never get to it. And that's why you have a long work day. So start with the big important thing, not the small easy thing. Third thing is multitasking. Multitasking, we talked about, it actually costs more time than it saves. You're better off just breaking things down into small steps and completing them before moving on to the next. You'll get more done in less time. Number 4 is miscalculating how long things take. So many people are such time optimists. Oh, that'll take 5 minutes, and it really is 2 hours. And when you miscalculate how long things take, you plan your days very unrealistically, and no matter how much you get done, you don't feel a sense of satisfaction at the end of the day because you never even made a dent in your to-do list. So learning how to estimate properly will give you, to me, the gateway skill to good time management. Being able to say no to interruptions. We all try to be good citizens. And if you don't have a planned exit line, and that's really the solution, come up with your exit line and practice it. I'd love to talk to you, but I want to give you my undivided attention, and right now, I can't do that. Can we talk later? There's an example of an exit line. Practice how to get out of interruptions that are unnecessary so you can stay focused and still feel like a good citizen. Sacrificing their personal lives for their job, I think, it's a very common mistake we all think. In order to survive and thrive, we have to sacrifice our personal lives for our work, but how we spend our time off actually fuels our creativity. It reduces the mistakes that we make when we're rested and recharged, and you actually have to put as much thought into your time off as you do into your time at work from a time management, energy management perspective. Keeping multiple to-do lists and planning tools. So basically people having 6 or 7 different to-do lists to try to organize what they need to do, and they're so scattered. You can't prioritize unless it's in context. So you must choose one single consistent planning tool. It could be electronic, it could be paper, but only one, and 100% of what you need to do, where you need to be, who you need to call, and the groceries you need to pick up on the way home, all have to be in one tool. And it will so free your mind and keep you focused, enable you to prioritize. Having no structure to your day or week, another really common mistake that people make is just showing up to their day without any sort of structure. And I think when you have a structure, you can keep your time in balance, get to what is most important and not be at the mercy of everybody else's agenda. In today's work world, people who don't know how to delegate really spend too much time at work. You need to learn how to delegate effectively and make sure you're doing what you're best at and bring other people up to speed and enable them to do what they're best at or train them to be good so that you don't have to do it all yourself. And 10 is mismanaging meetings. We work in this global environment in a lot more team atmosphere, and there's really a lot of art and skill to planning a meeting effectively, to making sure everybody's focused when they show up, it stays on schedule, and the proper actions are taken coming out of it. And if those things don't happen, people just feel like so much time is wasted, and so much time is wasted. So developing meeting skills is really a great time saver in today's work world.
Well, I pretty much failed every single one of them. Oh my God.
All you need to change is one. All you need to change is one, and that's the key. And so you should never feel overwhelmed. This whole approach to time management is if you change just one little grab and go skill, any one technique will actually change your entire relationship to your day. And then, in time, the rest just sort of fall right into line. So pick one, like email.
The book is called Never Check Email in the Morning. Julie Morgenstern, thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here.